Are you ready?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Hare Krishna, my dear devotees. All glories to Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. So today we are going to read from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, verse number 64. Ragadvesa vimuktais vishayan indriyais charan atma vaisyar videyatma prasadam adhigacchati. And this verse says, but a person free from all attachment and aversion and able to control his senses through regulative principles of freedom can obtain the complete mercy of the Lord. Very important verse. Let me read that again. But a person free from all attachment and aversion. Aversion means disgust, something that's very unpleasant. But a person free from all attachment and aversion and able to control his senses through regulative principles of freedom. So that's a very nice phrase, regulative principles of freedom. Freedom from what? Freedom from sinful activities, such as chanting Hare Krishna and so forth. Okay, so, but a person free from all attachment and aversion and able to control his senses through regulative principles of freedom can obtain the complete mercy of the Lord. Okay, so this is a confidential, open secret now, how we can get the complete mercy of the Lord. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. It is already explained that one may externally control the senses by some artificial process. But unless the senses are engaged in the transcendental service of the Lord, there is every chance of a fall. Although the person in full Krishna consciousness may apparently be on the sensual plane, because of his being Krishna conscious, he has no attachment to sensual activities. The Krishna conscious person is concerned only with the satisfaction of Krishna and nothing else. Therefore, he is transcendental to all attachment and detachment. So, devotee is not attached, nor is the devotee detached. So, what is the devotee exactly? He is dedicated. He's not attached. He's not detached. He's dedicated completely to serving Krishna. If Krishna wants, the devotee can do anything which is ordinarily undesirable. And if Krishna does not want, he shall not do that which he would have ordinarily done for his own satisfaction. Therefore, to act or not to act is within his control because he acts only under the direction of Krishna. This consciousness is the causeless mercy of the Lord, which the devotee can achieve in spite of his being attached to the sensual platform. So, 2 times, Prabhupada is saying that he is saying, he says 2 times in this purport, he's saying, 1, although the person in full Krishna consciousness may apparently be on the sensual platform, I'm sorry, sensual plane. Because of his being Krishna conscious, he has no attachment to sensual activity. And then secondly, he's saying, this consciousness is the causeless mercy of the Lord, which the devotee can achieve in spite of his being attached to the sensual platform.
Does Prabhupada refer to sensual plane means being in the material world?
Still being somewhat attached, somewhat attracted to sensual activities. So that's because the devotee has no attachment to sensual activities, although he may still have some attraction to sensual activities, but he has no attachment.
Mm.
Why? Because Krishna conscious person is concerned only with the satisfaction of Krishna and nothing else. Therefore, he is transcendental to all attachment and detachment. Yeah, so he's not attached, he's not detached, but he is uh, completely dedicated to the Lord. If Krishna wants, a devotee can do anything which is ordinarily undesirable, and if Krishna does not want, he shall not do that which he would have ordinarily done for his own satisfaction. Therefore, to act or not to act is within his control because he acts only under the direction of Krishna. This consciousness is the causeless mercy of the Lord, which a devotee can achieve in spite of his being attached to the sensual platform. Okay, basically, what is saying here, since a devotee, uh, through good association with other devotees and regularly practicing Krishna consciousness, chanting rounds, etc., develops this higher taste. So even though he's living uh, on the platform of, on the sensual platform, still he does not, he controls his senses uh, because of his complete dedication to Krishna. That's why it says, therefore, to act or not to act is within the control of the devotee, because he only acts under the direction of Krishna. So, what does it mean by under the direction of Krishna? Well, before a devotee acts, he says, or he thinks, is this something that Krishna would accept? Or is this something that Krishna will not accept? So if someone offers a devotee to eat some meat, is this something that Krishna accepts? No. Okay, then I'm not going to do it. There are many other things. If someone offers a cigarette to a devotee and he thinks, well, is this something Krishna accepts? No, it's intoxication. No, then he won't do it. So the devotee has to think before he does something, before he acts, he has to say, is this something that Krishna will accept? Is this something that Prabhupada will accept? So then we shouldn't do it. And why? How do we get that? Well, when we get a strong dedication to Srila Prabhupada, we won't do anything uh, because Krishna and Prabhupada are constantly, let's say, with us. So how can we engage in something that they would not be pleased with? And therefore it says, but a person free from all attachment and aversion means dislike, hatred, so in a sense, and able to control his senses through regulative principles of freedom. Yeah, the regulative principles, Krishna consciousness, free us from sense gratification, can obtain the complete mercy of the Lord. Well, it's very simple English. And it shows how a devotee can be transcendently situated in this lifetime, even though we're living in the atmosphere of materialism. So therefore, a devotee can become free from all attachment and aversion. Yeah, so we're not attached to sense gratification, nor do we hate or feel uh, disgusted by sense gratification. Why is that? Well, it just taking a bath is a type of sense gratification. So, but it's not violating the rules and regulations of Krishna consciousness. So you can please your senses by eating prasadam. You can please your senses by bathing. You can please your senses by uh, having nice things that are helpful to be Krishna conscious. But it's not engaging in gross sense gratification or sinful acts. Okay, so the Krishna conscious person is concerned only with the satisfaction of Krishna and nothing else. That's why we have to ask ourselves before we act, is this something that Prabhupada and Krishna will accept? If we act like that only, then what happens? Therefore, he is transcendental to all attachment and detachment. So some people will say, oh, well, I'm not going to do this. But if that's something that is pleasing to Prabhupada and they refuse to do it, that's actually a big mistake. That's why it says here, the devotee is transcendental to all attachment and detachment. In other words, a devotee, uh, because it's Krishna conscious, will do something that they would never do before. And they will not do something that they always were addicted to doing before, or they were attracted to doing before. They'll only do things that are pleasing or satisfying for Krishna, satisfaction of Krishna, and nothing else. Okay. Therefore, to act or not to act is within his control because he acts only under the direction of Krishna. This consciousness is the causeless mercy of the Lord, which the devotee can achieve in spite of his being attached to the sensual platform. Okay, so that seems to be something like a strange statement, even though in spite of his being attached to the sensual platform. Well, what does it mean by the sensual platform? Well, we're pleased by uh, things that uh, the sensual platform is when people are doing things that are pleasing their sense. Now, there are things that one does for sense gratification, but there are also things that one does for pleasing Krishna's senses. So when we are only doing things to please Krishna's senses, we're still on a sensual platform. Instead of pleasing our own senses now, we're pleasing Krishna's senses. So there's arti, there's offering food, there's chanting, there's dancing, all these things. It's on a sensual platform, but it's meant to please the senses of Krishna, who has eyes, ears, nose, tongue, skin, and so forth. So those are senses, and we're trying to please those senses of Krishna. So we're still on a sensual platform, but it's a transcendental platform, pleasing the transcendental senses of Krishna. So this uh, consciousness, that is the principle to act or not to act, uh, is within the devotee's control because he acts only under the direction of Krishna. This consciousness is the causeless mercy of the Lord, which the devotee can achieve in spite of his being attached to the sensual platform. Okay, so we're not going to become free of the so-called sensual platform, but we're going to change the person who's going to be pleased sensually. Instead of pleasing our own senses, we're going to use our senses to please Krishna's senses. Then we're no longer a victim of sensual, uh, let's say, materialistic sensual platform. We're on now the spiritual sensual platform. So when you please Krishna, you're pleasing his, you're offering incense, you're offering arati, you're offering, you offer the bathing the Lord, changing the dresses of the Lord, offering the Lord perfumes, this, that, all those things are pleasing the senses of Krishna. So, and then if we please the senses of Krishna, we will also be pleased because we're offering Krishna nice foodstuffs. And then he offers it back as prasadam. So that pleases our senses. So this is it. Therefore, he is transcendental to all attachment and detachment. If the Krishna wants, the devotee can do anything which is ordinarily undesirable. And if Krishna does not want, he shall not do that which he would have ordinarily done for his own satisfaction. Well, the example of that is Arjuna. Ordinarily, Arjuna would never have killed Bhisma Pitamaha, right? But he was ordered to do it by Krishna. And at first he hesitated, but then he agreed to do it. Yeah. Actually, Arjuna said, well, look, you killed this demon and that demon. Okay. But you're asking me to kill my guru? That doesn't seem to be equal here. Arjuna was smart, a very smart person. But anyway, he did what Krishna asked him to do, and that's why we're still talking about Arjuna today, because he was completely surrendered to Krishna. But also, before he could kill Bhisma Pitama, he had to ask his permission. And he also had to ask him, how can I kill you? Right. So, and Bhisma Pitama explained to him both things, how he could kill him and so forth. So we see these are transcendental activities that are incomprehensible to most people. Okay. I think the main question, the main statement here is that the Krishna conscious person is concerned only with the satisfaction of Krishna and nothing else. So we have to ask ourselves, am I acting like that only for the satisfaction of Krishna and nothing else? But actually, if we are engaged in devotional service, in the association of devotees, we're acting only for the satisfaction of Krishna, and we're not doing anything else like, going to movies and things like that. Just keeping our mind focused all the time on Krishna.
So the final sentence here was this consciousness. So at the top it says, if you go through the regulative principles of freedom, you will obtain the mercy of the Lord. And then the final statement in the purport, it says that this consciousness is the causeless mercy of the Lord. So essentially being able to be in Krishna consciousness itself is the mercy of the Lord. Is that?
He's saying that this consciousness is the causeless mercy of the Lord. And causeless mercy means it's not something that you did. Like you can say, well, I chanted 10,000 rounds, and now I've got all this good. This is the causeless mercy. I don't really deserve. Still, it's happening. Causeless mercy. So, let's see. Let me see here. The devotee can do anything which is ordinarily undesirable, and if Krishna does not want, he shall not do that which he would have ordinarily done for his own satisfaction. Okay, so the real criterion is how to please Krishna or the satisfaction of Krishna. The Krishna conscious person is concerned only with the satisfaction of Krishna. Therefore, to act or not to act is within the devotee's control because he only acts under the direction of Krishna. This consciousness is the causeless mercy of the Lord, which the devotee can achieve in spite of his being attached to the sensual platform. Well, there are examples of this, like someone might be, let's say, a great piano player, but they become a devotee, and instead of practicing the piano, like say, because one wants to be a professional piano player, instead of practicing the piano, 8 hours or 10 hours a day, now the devotee has become dedicated to serving Krishna and going out on Sankirtan, preaching, and so forth. So, therefore, that's why it says that, therefore, the devotee is transcendental to all attachment and detachment. If Krishna wants, the devotee can do anything which is ordinarily undesirable. And if Krishna does not want, he shall not do that which he would have ordinarily done for his own satisfaction. Therefore, to act or not to act is within his control because he acts only under the direction of Krishna. Okay, so there's such a thing as dovetailing your talents into Krishna consciousness, and there's also sacrificing certain things that you would like to do in order to engage in Krishna service. So sometimes people dovetail what they're doing into Krishna services. Like someone might be a good singer, or somebody musician, or someone might be a doctor, and they dovetail their services into Krishna consciousness. Or someone might abandon certain things that they do in order to engage in devotional service. Like, for example, yeah, I used to play this instrument, the the oud. It's a string instrument all the time. In fact, I used to be a professional musician, playing in nightclubs and things like that, belly dancing. So I could, and I made, I could easily make money and pay for my tuition in college. But I gave it all up. I didn't want to go into the nightclubs anymore. I used to play for belly dancers, and I did that. I was very good at it. I still have my instrument, but whenever you hear Govindam Adipurusham da 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 da, whenever you hear that, that's me playing.
play that instrument,
Yeah,
Maharaj?
yeah. And George Harrison, he sat down right next to me. He saw my instrument. He said, "Can you play this?" Da, 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 da. And I did it. He said, "Okay." So when I'm gonna, um, I'll tell you when to do it. You know. So whenever you hear that, that's me playing my instrument. Yeah, yeah.
Can play Maharaj one more.
Huh?
You should play that.
Yeah. Well, I used to play.
Really?
I have it in my room at the temple.
Is that like a bow or like?
No, no, it's
String instrument.
string instrument. Yeah, but it's like looks like a pregnant banjo. I used to play professionally, in nightclubs, and that's the way I paid for my tuition in college.
No.
Yeah, I play in orchestras. Usually Greek musicians. I used to play with Greek musicians, sometimes some Turkish musicians, and I would play my instrument, and someone would be playing the clarinet, someone would be playing the drum, and then the belly dancer would be dancing. I don't know if you ever went to any of those type of nightclubs. It's usually well, there's a lot of those nightclubs now, but usually it was done in uh, where is that? Anyway, it was in I forget now. No, no, it wasn't Paris.
US.
It was here. Yeah, in New York, in the Manhattan, yeah, Lower Manhattan. Yeah, I used to play professionally somewhere, and then we'd go and play in the Lower Manhattan. Uh, there would be nightclubs that were open till 4 o'clock in the morning. So I would play first professionally somewhere, like in a wedding, and then we would go and play just for to have fun in these other nightclubs. So yeah, but I don't really play it anymore because I don't want to go back to the
For Sangeeta.
what?
Sangeeta.
I could play it on sync. It's possible.
You played in temple, Maharaj. I remember you played with.
Maybe a long time ago.
Yeah, a long time ago.
Yeah,
Played in temple.
yeah, yeah.
That instrument.
Yeah, my
Just like a
instrument's
guitar,
my
right? Just
it
like
looks like a guitar.
looks
But it
like
looks
guitar.
like a pregnant.
Yeah, yeah, I know.
Uh,
I've seen that.
I mean, it's at the temple in my room. I haven't played for a long time, but I used to play all the time.
Yeah, yeah.
I used to have a lot of fun doing that.
That Armenian instrument, Maharaj?
It's a Middle Eastern instrument. It's not specifically Armenian. Armenians play it, Greeks play it, Turks play it, Albanians play it. There's the Arabs, and they definitely play it. Yeah, and at one time I was really good at it. I haven't played for a long time now. I don't want to get carried away with it because then you start practicing all the time, and then people invite you to marriages where people are drinking liquor and things. I don't want to do that anymore. There was, when I was playing in the nightclubs in New York, and these Greek guys would come in and they would ask us to play some Greek music. So when we play the Greek music, they would go crazy. They start dancing, and then this one guy, he started breaking. He had not a bottle of whiskey, but he had a glass of whiskey. Broke the glass in his hand, started eating the glass. They go crazy, and then they come and they just throw money on top of the time. Have a big wad of dollars or $5 and just keep going like that and asking you to play this this song or that song. Yeah, so I got tired of that. I didn't want to do that anymore because it's not Krishna conscious at all. Uh, but you can use that instrument in Krishna consciousness also. And I did. So whenever you hear the Govinda prayer, I play in that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and I sat down with the Beatles, George Harrison. He sat down with me right next to me. He had his guitar, and he did something with his guitar and asked me if I could play that, and I did. And then he used that in the Govinda record.
Mm.
And he was a really nice man, really nice person, and he was a genius as far as music as a musician. Anyway, those days are over. Okay, so now I think we're just about finished. Uh, the main takeaway here, okay. If Krishna wants, the devotee can do anything which is ordinarily undesirable. And if Krishna does not want, he shall not do that which he would ordinarily do for his own satisfaction. Therefore, to act or not to act is within his control because he acts only under the direction of Krishna. Harivilas. Thank you very much, Srila Prabhupada. Okay.
So with this point, what my understanding, Maharaj, about this is the question, yeah, right? So that this consciousness is causeless mercy of the Lord. Because um, we the consciousness is,
It means that, you don't really deserve it,
yeah,
but Krishna is giving it to you.
correct.
It's just,
So this is related to whether a person can act or not. To act is within his control. That consciousness means a person who is in that consciousness, he can control anything. He doesn't want to act or he wants to act. Is totally under his control. I mean, he's not carried away with his emotions and mind. And that consciousness is a causeless mercy because he only acts under the direction of Krishna. So that's why I'm
or
giving
spiritual master.
spiritual master. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So you were playing the
Yeah, I just found that song. I just wanted to see if you can point us to.
it's no, it's right in the beginning. That's it.
Hmm.
That's right.
Oh, nice.
Wow. Very good.
Yeah. That was the beginning. And then a little bit later on, that's my instrument. That's me playing. Okay, keep going. Let it keep going. So at a certain point now, it's going to say da 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 da. I'm singing there too. Govinda.
So exciting.
Yeah, George Harrison sat right next to me. He played it on his guitar and said, "Can you play this?" And I did play it. That's why I'm in that record.
Very good.
That's when I first joined. Like the first day I joined, they took me to Apple Records. You know, there was like Mukunda Das and um,
Yeah.
Yamuna Devi. Yeah, because they saw I had my instrument with me, and they saw I was a musician. So, you come with us. So we went to the, Apple Records, and there was George Harrison there. And then we sat down, and then, and he started, making this record, and we went for 1 week. We went, and every day he would, organize things. And he was a musical genius, and that was the end product.
Yeah. You know, in one of the movie also, I thought that you get somebody forwarded, right?
We were
There's
on
a-
movies,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that you're playing the Sankirtan. Sankirtan.
No, we're singing, yeah.
Singing or
Oh, yeah, we were going on Sankirtan
Yeah.
every day. I mean, you've seen that, haven't you?
that clip working at some kind of bar or restaurant or something. The guy is
There was a
coming out.
cafe, and then
Yeah, cafe. Yeah.
these famous guys came. Michel Piccoli, he was a very famous guy, and Catherine Deneuve. Catherine Deneuve was Marilyn Monroe of France. Very top,
Yeah. Marilyn Monroe, that
lady,
is very-
and I met them. And then they put us. It was a short
Yeah, short
thing,
clip, I
short
saw
thing,
it.
but we're in the movie.
Yeah, yeah.
And because we're in the movie, we met them, and they were seeing us. They were seeing us all the time, chanting in the streets of Paris. So we became famous. Yeah, they didn't give us any money, but we became famous. Yeah.
Did you manage from childhood you had attraction towards this musical instruments, or you learned that later?
Oh, later on I learned it. Yeah, my family wasn't musical. Well, my grand auntie was somewhat musical, but she stopped playing. But then she had the instrument, so I started playing the instrument.
Okay.
I never got any lessons. I just picked it up myself.
Oh,
Yeah, I didn't really get any formal training. Yeah. But I gave it because I'm not playing nightclubs and marriages and things like that. But it was good for me in college because I was able to pay the tuition.
Yeah.
Every Friday night I'd go to New York from Philadelphia and play, on the weekend in the nightclubs, and then come back again to school. So it helped me get through college. Yeah. Like in New York, there's two types of people. There are the people that live during the day and the people that live at night. So the people who live at night uh, come out like 8 o'clock at night, and then they go back home 4 o'clock in the morning, just when the other people are waking up to go to work.
Yeah.
In New York, it's like 24 hours a day. You can go. There's something going on there all the time. But it's a low class place. All right, I think we'll stop right there. I want to take a walk. I didn't have my walk today. And we will pray to Radha and Krishna, please guide us back to Godhead. Yeah.
If you want to drink soup now or after?
One later.
Okay.
I think Mataji wanted us to play that song near the
What?
microphone.
What if?
Yeah.
You
So
can
we'll send you the link.
Share, yeah.
Send the link.
Who wants?
A group.
I think Sangeeta Mataji.
Who?
Sangeeta Mataji.
Oh, Sangeeta.
Priya.
It